everyone, Charlene here. Thanks so much for joining me on the Scrapbook and Cards Today YouTube channel. Today I'm sharing some of my tips for having everyday cards on hand whenever you need them. So let's go down to my desk and see what we're working with. I have here the new Totally Awesome release from Hero Arts. My first tip is to pick some type of stamp or die for your focal point that is fairly generic. So in this instance, we have this cute little tote bag, which has all of the dies included to create the bag. A tote bag is a pretty simple generic item, but it can be used for lots of different special events or holidays. Next, we have the Totes the Best stamps and dies. These go together really well with the tote bag. And here's my next tip, and that is to pick a sentiment set that has a lot of different options for you to choose from. So that way you can easily change out your sentiment. On this one, we have things like your tote's awesome, every day is cake day, that'd be great for a birthday, I'm pretty sweet on you, could be good for Valentine's Day, things like that. Happy birthday to you, another sentiment for a birthday. It's in the bag, that would be for encouragement. Just a note, there are all kinds of sentiments that work really well for creating generic cards. There also is a coordinating die set with those stamps, and then this other set here is the Tiny Treasures stamps and coordinating dies. These are really super cute little bag charms that can be added on to the tote bag or used by themselves, and there are a few more sentiments in that set as well. My third tip for creating generic cards is to find a fun and simple background builder stamp set. You can see all these lovely different designs here that can be stamped quickly and easily onto the background of a card and to give you a large variety. So we're going to make a set today, quick and easy. Let's start by picking out some colors of cardstock. I've picked out a couple of different colors here of Spellbinders cardstock. I have Alabaster, Celestial, Waterfall, and Dahlia. I'm going to cut out the main portion of the tote bag using the Alabaster. I'll do that 3 different times, and then I'll cut out the straps and other small items using the different colors. I have my Platinum Scout die cutting machine here. I'll start with the main tote bag piece, cutting that from the Alabaster, and then I'll cut the front pocket from the Alabaster as well as a top trim piece that's going to go along the top of the tote bag. So I'll do that 3 times. I have all of those ready to go. So I'll cut these straps out here now from Dahlia cardstock as well as the base of the tote bag. And then there's a small little tag accent for the tote bag as well. I'll repeat that here with the Waterfall cardstock and again with the Celestial cardstock. Now I can put together the tote bag. I'll start here with the top piece and you'll see there's some stitching that runs along the bottom. I'll add glue, a nice thin line along the back. Then line this up right over the top. You can see there's an embossed detail line there. I'll do the same thing for the bottom piece. I'll go ahead and add glue all the way along the back of that. Then I'll line it up underneath that embossed detail line. For the small tag, there's a little embossed detail, so I'll add a dot of glue there. Then I can pick up the tag piece with a wax pickup tool and put it in place. Next, I'll add some glue here right along the 2 embossed areas that indicate where the straps for the bag are going to go. I'll turn that in the light a little so you can get a better look. Then I'll take the strap and lay it right over those areas so it lines up on those embossed lines. You can do a couple of things with the front pocket. You can glue it directly to the tote bag if you want to, or you can do what I'm going to do, and that's add some foam squares to the back to pop it up and give a little bit of extra dimension. I'm not going to do that just yet because I'm going to be doing some stamping on the pocket. So I'll go through now and put together my other 2 colors of bag. I have all 3 bags ready to go. I'll grab my 3 pockets and place them in my stamping platform and pick out 3 of the sentiments. I'll center these onto the pockets. For a nice variety, I'm choosing Just a Note, It's in the Bag, and every day is cake day. Once I have those ready to go, I'll stamp them out here with some crisp black pigment ink. That's going to give me a really nice finished stamped sentiment. I'll go ahead and flip, press, and lift. I like to stamp a second or even a third time to build up the intensity of the black ink. I'll flip and press and lift that up. That looks great. Next, I'll come in here and add those thin, low loft foam squares to the back corners of each of the pockets. Remove the release tape, then pop these in the centers of the bags, right in between those straps. I have all three popped up now, so you can see we've created this fun 3D effect for the front pocket. I have some A2 sized panels of 80-pound white cardstock here, as well as the background builder stamps. We're going to go ahead now and create the background for the cards. I'll start here with this fun kind of bubble looking stamp, and I'm doing freehand stamping here. I'm using just an acrylic block. I'll add my stamp here on the back. For my inks, I have Taffy, Splash, and Pool Party. I think I'm going to start about 1/4 of an inch or so up from the bottom, and then also stamp so that it goes up over the top of the tote bag as well. I'll ink up my stamp here with the Pool Party, then try to give myself somewhat of an even border going all the way around here at the bottom. So then I can just press this down with some nice even pressure, lift that up, ink up my stamp a second time, then I'll shift the stamp, and I'm going to make it so that it lines up along the edge of the prior stamping. So I'll bring this down and lift that up. You can see now we've created a fun bubble looking background. It does not have to be perfect. You could do different colors as well. This is just going to add a fun little pop back behind our tote bag. For the second background, I'm going to use the stamp here that looks like paintbrush strokes. I'll add this on my acrylic block. Then when I'm working with a large silhouette style stamp like this, I like to condition my stamp. I want the brush strokes here to come up and out on the top and bottom of the bag. So I'll ink up my stamp here with the Splash ink. I'll use my tote bag here as a reference point to see where I'm going to stamp. Then I'll move the tote bag out of the way and press down on my stamp. You'll see I got a little spot that didn't quite take. Now you can always just try and line your stamp back up again, which is what I'm doing here, and press a little harder if you run into this issue. I did get a little bit of ghosting along the edges. Not a big deal because this is kind of a messy, organic looking stamp in the first place. I'll ink my stamp again. That's why I love this style of background stamp so much, is because you can just sort of have fun and do things in an organic looking way. I flip the direction of my stamp so I can get a different look coming out from the bottom of the tote bag. Now I do end up doing that a second time because you can see here I want my tote bag down a little farther. So since I'm going to do that, I'm going to go ahead and flip the whole background all the way around, and then our prior kind of boo-boo stamp with the ghosting will actually end up underneath the tote bag. So I can now shift my stamp down just a little bit and go ahead and re-stamp here on this portion. Lift that up and look how we're doing, and now you can see we've got a nice amount of that ink coming out of the top and the bottom. For the last one, I'm going to use this scribbly looking stamp here. If you don't want your cardstock to move around on you when you're doing this, you can always double up a piece of tape and add it to the back of your cardstock so your cardstock adheres to your work surface. On this one, I'm going to use the taffy colored ink, so I'll ink up my stamp, bring in my tote bag here again so I can get a sense of where I want to stamp. I think that's going to look good right about there, so I'll go ahead and move the tote bag out of the way and stamp my stamp. Go ahead and lift that up. Use my tote bag again. So a lot of back and forth when you're doing this freestyle stamping like this, but it is so helpful to use your focal point as a reference before you've actually adhered it down to your card panel. I always like to kind of put it on, move it off, so I can see exactly where I want to put that stamp. Now, this would be fun as well to stamp directly onto the tote bag, so you could create a fun patterned tote. I'm going to go ahead and press this down here, lift it up, and now we have that fun scribbly background for our third card. Little side note here, you can see my acrylic block. This is from the Crop and Create delivered card making event in October of 2021. That was actually my first ever card making event, and it's what made me fall in love with card making. So you should definitely check out the Crop and Create events through Scrapbook and Cards Today. They are so much fun. I'll set these aside for a moment because I'm going to stamp out some of those super cute bag charms. I'll grab a piece of white cardstock here and stamp out several different charms here. I'm just kind of randomly picking them here and there. I have my charm stamps ready to go, so I'll pick those up, then come in with some anti-static powder and cover the whole card panel. Grab some embossing and watermark ink and ink those up, flip and press and lift, and I'm going to ink these up a second time. I always like to double stamp when I am going to be heat embossing. I like to make sure I get a lot of that ink onto the paper. Go ahead and lift this up. I've got some gold embossing powder here, and I'm just going to hold my cardstock from the sides so that way I don't get my fingers into any of the ink. I'll add the gold powder on one side, then turn my cardstock around 180 degrees and add gold embossing powder to the other side and just gently tap off any excess. A couple of tips for heat embossing. You always want to make sure to get your heat tool nice and hot before you actually bring it to the cardstock. And then once you do bring it to the cardstock, as soon as the embossing powder melts, you want to move on to the next area. You don't want to stay too long in one area or you will over melt that powder. Once I'm done melting, I turn it in the light just to make sure everything is shiny. Now I can go ahead and cut everything out here with the coordinating dies. I've chosen the charms that I want to use for each of the cards, but I want to add a little bit of color to these charms, and I'm going to show you a very quick and easy way to do that. I have the same ink colors here that I use to stamp out the backgrounds. So I'll grab a couple of these charms to show you how to do this. I'll start with some of the taffy color, and I'm just smooshing a small amount of the ink out onto my glass work surface here. I'll get a little bit of water. I have my sprayer. I'm just spraying a little bit directly onto the work surface. Grab a paintbrush, pick up some water, and work it into that ink. And then I can just color in the small little areas. The melted embossing powder is going to act like a well, so it'll make it so that I don't get color outside of the areas of the embossing powder. And then since I'm not putting too much ink down here, I'm not worried about the fact that this is not watercolor cardstock. Again, it's just regular 80-pound white cardstock that I'm using here. You can use as much or as little ink as you want depending on how dark you want this look to be. I'm going to bring in some other colors as well throughout all of the different charms. So I've got some of the splash here, and I'm going to add this to the ice cream cone. Again, you just pick up a little water, pick up a little ink, and then you color over the areas that you want to color in. Now all that's left to do is to go ahead and put our cards together. So I'll start here by adding glue to the back of the tote bag. I'm not going to add any glue to the strap because I want that to lift up off of the card. And then just as best as I can, I'm going to try and center this here on the front of the card panel. That's another bonus of using those more organic background stamps like that, is that you don't have to make sure that it's quite as perfectly centered as you would if you just had a solid white or solid colored background. fun trick here. I'm gonna clip the bag charm here so that way I can actually slide this onto the strap and make it look more realistic. So I've put together some of the charms here with chains. I'm going to add some glue to the back of the charm portion and hold it in place. Then I'll add the charms back in here, adding glue just to the tips of them and adhering them underneath the charm wherever I want them to go. So now here I have some cute little charms hanging off of the tote. I'll repeat that with these other 2 cards. Then take the completed panels, add glue to the back of each one, and adhere it to an A2 sized card base. Here are the finished 3 cards. We have this Everyday is Cake Day card, this Just a Note card, as well as this It's in the Bag card. So I hope you all picked up some tips and tricks today on creating everyday cards that you can hang on to in your stash and just have available to use whenever you need to. Please be sure to like and subscribe as well as hit the notification bell so that you'll know about future videos here on the Scrapbook and Cards Today YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.